order, 6:30 p.m. Do we have any discussion of the minutes from the last meeting? Have you guys all had a chance to go over them and a review? Have any updates or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last month.
I'll second them.
Okay, any discussion? Carla, you said there was one correction you thought on the leaders that were
Yeah,
listed.
roll call. Shiloh Ecker should say leader instead of parent.
Okay,
I've made it for those who are sitting here in the room.
okay.
I didn't send.
Katie, do you want to amend your motion to make that correction and then we can have a vote?
Yep. So we just need to correct the one person that was actually a parent instead of a leader.
It's actually leader instead of parent.
Yeah, I think it's Shiloh Ecker is the leader and not just a parent. Okay. Any other discussion or comments? Going once, going twice, 3 times? Okay, all in favor? Say aye or text in. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Let's see, treasurer's report. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
And your treasurer's here too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw your email, Regina, that the Caddy's Critters has not paid yet. I saw from Teresa.
They did not this morning, but they did this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Karen told me, and then I also confirmed with Teresa. So
Okay.
she paid this afternoon. So that's been taken care of. And other than that, no changes.
All right, perfect. Can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I move to accept the treasurer's report.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Is there
Aye.
anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Do we have any public comments tonight?
I do not see any hands raised for public comments.
Okay. FFA updates?
You have Megan Caps on the line, or she was, I think we just lost her. Oh, no, she's still there.
I see her. Yeah, I see her.
I'm here. We actually don't have any updates at the moment unless you want to come to our plant sale this weekend, Friday and Saturday. We're having a plant sale. The kids have worked really hard in the greenhouse, but other than that, no updates.
Okay, thank you.
Is the sale at the school?
Yes, it's actually at we have a greenhouse up here by the ag shop, and the kids have been working all semester. We've got tomatoes, peppers, flowers, Mother's Day baskets. We've got anything you could, well, most things you could want in a greenhouse. So that'll be from 8 in the morning to 2 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Old business. I don't think we've done much on marketing. I think we were going to work on that in the next month to try and get things rolling, started out. the award sponsorship, have you guys taken a look? I looked at it this afternoon. It looks like there's still quite a bit of spots available that we need to find sponsorships for.
Would you like to share my screen to show everybody the new format?
Yes, please, thank you.
So sponsorship, as soon as it comes up, is now on Event Hub, Garfield County. So for the livestock and everything, it's under Garfield County Age Care Sponsorship. So you will see this screen. Everybody, trying to get my computer to like me. So it tells a little bit about the event, and people can sponsor by, there's general sponsorships, or if they want specific buckles, they can click here. Once a buckle is sponsored or an award sponsored, it'll say sold out. So it's one and done on all of these here for individual awards. We do have larger sponsorships. So we have some, this is where your livestock shavings will go. Just different, trying to get down to the livestock, sorry. We have the general basic sponsorships, but then it goes into specifics like livestock shavings, or there we go, livestock stall shavings, what it typically costs for that. So there's some bigger ones here. I know I showed this to Jana earlier today as she was working out. So anybody can go to eventhub.net, type in the search for Garfield, and you'll be able to sign in. Our sponsors can sign in. Once they select their stuff, they can print their invoice, write their check, and mail it in. This particular site does link to the Garfield County Fair and Rodeo site. So if they qualify for advertisements or tickets, it automatically rolls across to Cassidy, who has that information, so we don't lose anything in the paper trail. So this is a new system that Fair is trying. We've bought into it. It took us 2 weeks to get this up and going. So it wasn't an easy task to get all the individual awards. So it's something to look at for next year. Do we combine all beef awards and just have a beef sponsorship? Or do we, you know, because there are a lot of individual awards throughout each buckle. So it's something to think about for next year, not for this year.
Okay.
We did price it out. It's about $1,100 to do all the beef awards, or all the swine awards, or all the sheep awards, or all. So if we did it by species, that would be about what it would cost.
So like there wouldn't be like a grand champion or a reserve sponsorship is what you're saying?
All the beef sponsorship. So something for us to talk about, because otherwise we have to put every individual award in, which is what I spent 2 weeks doing. So not only would we have grand champion market beef, grand champion breeding beef, we would have champion producer market beef, we would have champion producer breeding beef, and then we would have that for swine, that for poultry, that for rabbit, that for livestock. Not to mention all the reserve awards, all the showmanship awards, but then I have to add in all the shooting sports, all the dog, all the horse.
But right now it's just a lump sum.
Right now it's individual. Every individual award is in there for this year. That's what took 2 weeks to figure out how to do it. So if by some chance tonight, somebody goes in and picks, I'm just gonna say poultry grand champion. So if Jackie would pick it and Mike would pick it, unless I get an email automatically to say that it's a no sell and we're sold out, I can have 2 sponsors for that buckle. So it's a little more fine tuned that I have to be on the computer at all times to monitor it. So that's something to think about for 2022, not for 2021.
Does it tell you the time that they emailed or that they picked it?
It sends me an email in my email that they picked it.
And your time frame should be on there. So
Right,
whoever
but
sent it
if
in
they've
first.
already printed it off and they've written a check, and they both mail and they arrive at the office at the same time, I still have to call them, and if they didn't want to sponsor anything else, that's where it gets tricky. So that's something to think about as we're moving forward into 2022. not for 2021. There's too many 20s.
So if
So,
sorry, if we
Go
had
ahead.
someone that wanted to sponsor a certain level next year, if you had it all in one thing, can they call in and say, this is the one I want to sponsor?
So that's something this committee is going to talk about in the fall as we work with moving forward with it after we get through this fair to see what worked, what didn't work. And if we want to lump like you want to be the sponsor of all the beef show and awards. That includes ribbons, buckles, trophies, everything for beef. Then we will put if that's what this committee decides they want to do, we will lump them all together, and then it'd be easier once that sponsorship's gone, it's sold out. It's one and done.
Okay.
That's a big price tag though.
Yeah, well, it's about if you put everything, it's between $1,100 and $1,500. And we have a lot of blue ribbon sponsors, people that do that already, but we have them scattered across goat, sheep, poultry. We have one $1,500 sponsor across, 500 to livestock, 500 to sheep, sports, 500 to horse.
So Carla, this is Allison. How do you run the shooting sports buckles? Are those individual, or is there like a lump sum for each discipline?
Right now they're individual, and that same committee is going to be looking at the lump sum because most of those sponsors do 500 for air or 500 for, which would cover the buckles and the reserve champion awards. So they're going to be looking at it as well on the shooting sports side. Because that's another one that is comparable to livestock, minus the banner.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because shooting sports gets it for each age group, for each discipline. Is that right?
They only get a junior, senior.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. But they do get buckles for each division class, junior and senior.
Right.
Okay. So that would be like giving buckles for, I don't know, Grand and Reserve producer and Grand and Reserve, no.
They get a grand champion buckle. So there's a grand champion junior shotgun, there's a grand champion senior shotgun, and to qualify it, they have to shoot trap, skeet, and sporting clays.
So there's 3 classes in that division.
There's 3 classes in that division, and they have to participate in all 3 to qualify to win a chance for the buckle. So there's high score for all 3 of those.
Okay.
And archery, we have compound, traditional, compound, limited, compound, unlimited, and you have to shoot 2 of those 3 classes to qualify for the compound bow. For recurve, it's recurve traditional and recurve limited. You have to shoot both of those to qualify for the recurve. So they have a lot more restrictions on how many classes you have to do. It's not just the overall high score, and it's not just the overall one class. So they've been very fine-tuned and picky about how they award buckles. And they're comparing it to what would qualify at state level to go on to national level for shooting. And there's over 120 kids this year in shooting sports alone. So, but that group's going to have to decide that as well. So something for everybody to think about after fair, but you can kind of look at how it's being done this year.
You have a list of who sponsored what last year so that we can reach
Nobody
out.
sponsored anything last year. I got to pay for it out of pocket because we had to return all the sponsorship awards. So all the buckles that we decided to give out at the last minute, my office had to eat the cost of.
Do we have a list from previous years?
We have a list from 2018 into 2019.
Okay. Can you, you can shoot it to everybody, but can you shoot it to me and I can, then maybe we can get started, or I can get started, or I'll.
And I know Brooke has started on a lot of those, and Jana and I went over the rest of them.
Okay.
But other than that, everybody who's typically sponsored is already in for livestock. The only one we're missing is shavings. Other than that, everything is in, who is always sponsored.
Okay.
So that shows you what's still open.
So
But
is
I mean,
Shady-
like Livestock Premier Exhibitor Awards, they're still open, record books,
That's still open.
yeah, the rate of gain.
The shavings used to always be, years past was Castan, the construction is about $3,000 to have them.
we haven't had shavings for 2 years now,
No, K&K donated last time an elder.
but they
called
didn't
in.
donate enough.
No, they donated a first batch. They donated a certain percentage and then that was all. Because that's what was agreed. And I know Jana was working on shavings today and
Okay.
trucking. We had to find trucking back in 2019.
Yeah, because the elder was the one that usually did the trucking.
Yeah, and the year before that, it was Christensen who did the trucking.
So Carla, can we share the link to those sponsorships on the Garfield County Fair page? Like the livestock sale page that we created last year. I know we had a lot of buyers on there, a lot of people who were involved in that. So that might be a good place to at least share it via Facebook. It's not super personal, but we'd still get the word out there that we are still looking for sponsorships that way.
Okay. But anybody can go to that website and link and connect who's an admin on that livestock page.
Okay, I can do that. I can share it onto the livestock page. I just wanted to make sure everybody agreed with doing that.
I
You
think
just
that's a good idea.
With the livestock picture, or else you're gonna be sending them to the regular fair page for sponsorship. So you wanna click which group.
Right.
Okay, any more comments about sponsorships this year? Okay, move on to Fair Vet. Hopefully everybody got a chance to look at the RFP. It did go out. It's been posted, I think, with the Rifle Chamber of Commerce. And I'm in the process of contacting vets that I know of. So if there's vets that you guys know of and can help us kind of spread that out, the return date is May 15th. That way it will be in next month's packet, and then we can make a decision and try to move forward from there and award the RFP so that the vet has time to schedule and plan for that. And then we will also know who we are wanting to use. You guys have any comments, questions? No? Okay, the rabbit clinic, Eagle County is having one on is it May 13th or June 13th? Carla?
I need to look at the email again. I don't remember. I think it's June.
Yeah, I think it is June 13th. And I have sent a couple emails to Dr. Leek, but today I left a message at her office to see what if she has availability to see so that we can host a clinic here in Garfield County. So I'm still kind of working on that, but there isn't a second clinic in June in Eagle County that the kids can attend if they want to get that. And the cost is roughly the same. I think it might be $19 or $20 per rabbit over there. And I think
It is June 13th.
June 13th. So Brooke isn't on today. She's not on with us tonight.
I'm about to see her.
Okay. Can you have Alice maybe shoot that out, or I'm not sure if she did already or not, to all the rabbit kids to let them know?
Lisa, it's going out in the newsletter at the end of the week.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I will, and as soon as I confirm something with Dr. Leek, I will let you know, Alice, and then we can shoot out maybe a second blast or something to everybody. As soon as I can narrow down a date with her. The last month we talked about doing some sale shirts. I talked with Christy and Courtney, and then I talked a little bit with wait. About the kind of shirts, and we thought about doing a t-shirt with the mainline header, and then just having people, businesses that had wanted to sponsor hats, but were unable to get in on the t-shirt sponsorship. And Courtney and Christy were kind of working on that. I don't have an update as to who they've gotten confirmed with. I will reach out to them later this week and see who we have kind of listed. But we were planning on doing a couple hundred shirts in a variety of sizes. And we just thought that we would do like a nice cotton heather gray shirt, and it would have the livestock sale emblem on the front over like the left pocket. And then it would say livestock sale or 2021 Garfield County Livestock Sale Sponsor as a headline on the back, and then list out how many ever people we can get to kind of do that sponsorship. And we were thinking the sponsorship would be about, to have your name put on the t-shirt would be between $300 and $350.
What's the plan for the proceeds from that?
I think it was just to cover the cost of the shirts, basically, is kind of what we were thinking. I don't know that we didn't really talk about pros.
What are you planning on selling these shirts for?
Well,
They're
they're not selling them. We're giving them as buyer's gifts.
Oh, buyer's gifts. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on track now.
Okay,
Thank you.
no worries. Any other old business people want to discuss or talk about? Okay. Animal ID uploads. Carla?
Alice is still here at the office working on making sure we get all the animals in and uploaded. So she is working on that as we're speaking of this meeting. She's still trying to get people uploaded. Not everybody has gotten their stuff in. I don't know, how close are you, Alice? About 1/4 of the livestock animals are in, of 200 animals. Just 50 out of.
There's a long way to go.
Is that the swine and sheep and goat only?
Sheep and goat. We're expecting 194 at weigh-in. So we still have a few of those to still do. A lot of those to still do. That's what Alice is pretty much focusing on this week, trying to get in as much of them in as possible. The other thing to remember is drop deadline is Saturday the 1st. If you need to drop, you need to call the office or email us. If it is on Saturday, you need to text me, because Saturday is Alice's day off and I want her to have it. So I would need a text on my cell phone if anybody needs to drop on Saturday. Just because I don't plan on being on the computer the whole day.
Okay.
I have judging meetings I have to attend. So that's the biggest thing, is animal uploads. We're 50 animals in of 200.
Okay, so people need to get with it. Spring weigh-in for swine, sheep and goats. Was there a lot of people that signed up for slots on Friday?
Oh, yes. There is 1 10-minute break all day.
Okay. And do you have enough help down there? Do you think?
I know Courtney's planning on being here. I don't know which of the other superintendents are planning on being here.
I'm gonna be there.
Jana,
I will be there for goat.
Katie. Okay, so Courtney, Katie, Regina,
Nickel's gonna be there. Okay.
Nickel.
Yep. It looks like you have enough people then, or do you need to recruit more?
Sure. We'll just definitely need to make sure, I know that Danny and Drew are gonna be here to help, sanitize and make sure we have a handwritten note as they're learning the process.
Okay.
So they've already volunteered to be the bleach sprayers, because we use a lot more of it during this time.
I'll have
So-
Sherry with me too. Do we have any more junior superintendents that could help?
You guys have.
I'll probably have Ella with me as well, Jana.
What we found is less is better. I know Megan and Ryan typically will help us on Friday for retinal scan. Megan, are you still available to help with that? We have about 12.
Megan, I have to take this.
Can you tell me the date of that again?
May 7th.
Friday.
I cannot be there. That is my college graduation. I finally get to actually walk across the stage. So I won't be there, but I will double check with Ryan.
Okay. And swine, if they're nominating, they will have to pay for the DNA test. The swine are 100% DNA test this year with their nominations. Okay.
Do they need to have that paid for by weigh-in? And taken care of?
For swine, they have to send the money in to get the DNA kit. So that's separate on them. So if they're
Okay.
nominating, send the paperwork in, they'll get an email from the state, from Robin Top saying this is how you apply to get your DNA kit and this is how you pay for it.
Okay.
But they're doing the sheep and goats fine.
We can do retinal scan by sheep and goats. And we pay $5 for every nomination for those. So they can bring cash that day. So if you have kids who are nominating. And they're a little easier to retinal scan, so that won't be too bad. Okay, so that's what I have on that. Our biggest thing is if we need breaks, making sure we'll have 4 office staff. So that puts 10 of us there that day.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out Saturday. And then I'll have to figure out how many people we'll need for Saturday.
I'll be here Saturday too.
Okay, so Regina.
Me as well.
Okay, thank you, Katie. So, I'll send out to everybody how many kids we have on each day so that you guys know. Because we have them rolling in every 5 minutes. Okay, that's what I have.
Anything else? Anybody have comments, questions, concerns?
Carla, on Friday and Saturday for weigh-in, what are our rules for COVID? Do we need to wear masks? Do they need to wear masks? Do they have to stay in their car? What is all that gonna look like?
We'll probably run it similar to what we did on beef, try to make sure where everybody has face coverings, just so we protect, others who are working with some of our elderly ranchers so that they don't take anything back to them. So everybody is working, we ask that you wear face masks. We'll ask that people stay in their vehicle until we ask them to unload. That worked really good for beef and we got through it really fast and didn't have anybody run and get away. So it was super simple for beef doing that, and nobody had a problem staying in their vehicle. So I think we do the same system as we did for beef.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth. Along the COVID-19 lines, Levy, do you have any comments from Fair Board? I mean, as far as plans, things are moving forward pretty smoothly to have a somewhat regular fair this year, correct?
So far, we're still moving forward at the pace. Let me check real quick, because I think the governor's edict today was that outdoor events no longer required a face mask. They're still recommending an interior. So things are starting to loosen up a little bit, but you know, everything's still in flux, but Fair Board's still moving forward with the full fair.
Okay, thank you.
I know from CSU, there's still, even outside events, they're asking us, unless it's on a shooting sports range, and the kids are already on their spots, that they don't have to wear masks for shooting, just because it could cause a hazard on the line. So otherwise, they are asking us to have our masks at this time. We get another update, we get Monday's updates, so I'll look and see if something changes before the 7th.
Yeah, they were supposed to do a press release today, but I don't see it, so there was something on the news earlier. We just got the hospital stats now.
I know Mike was gonna say something, Lisa.
Just with the weigh-in in beef, so whoever's driving is not allowed out of the vehicle?
Not,
Just when you're in
not in line. When you
Okay.
get up here to the scale, then everybody who's working with that can get out and assist and help.
Okay.
But we don't want the commingling of everybody from vehicle to vehicle. We still have a lot of farmers and ranchers that are, you know, haven't been vaccinated or in that high-risk category that we don't want to risk the chance of somebody being a carrier and getting back home and making other people sick.
Most of those farmers are ranchers.
You know, and the biggest thing, you know, you mentioned it, and that's just be courteous to everybody else, whether you feel that you're fine and safe and everything else. It's just a matter of being courteous and respecting everybody else's concerns, their safety.
So I know that really made it easy with beef because we had a line out the side and it went pretty quick.
Well, it saves the confusion at the desk.
It saves a lot of confusion because we know who we're weighing. So we have them all on time schedule, so I think as long as we can adhere close to the time schedule, I think we'll be good.
Hey. Anything else? Any questions anybody has? Okay, the next meeting is next May 25th at 6:30. It's the day after, no, week. Yeah, the week before Memorial Day, so. Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:05.